Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Craps with old Johnny here on Casino Gaming TV from Pro Craps. A lot of stuff going on already. Look at this. I'm looking at the comments over here. I'm sorry I'm late, by the way. This is a live show and life happens. We had a delivery come that I had to go deal with. So, oh shit, I got my stupid. Hold on a second. Why is YouTube running over here? Oh, because I put the note in. That's why. Sorry, I got it. Hold on. Jeez. Hang on a second. I can't find the window. There it goes. Okay, pause, stop, get out. Okay, sorry about that. Jeez, rookie mistake. Anyway, so I had the delivery come, so I had to start late. A lot of good stuff in chat, and this morning there's so much going on here. David, I'm going to start with you because you actually wrote this question, which is great. How many best strategies are there on YouTube, right? The number one best, awesomest way to play anything. How do you navigate it? I don't know. If you listen to Waylon, everything's the best, right? Waylon, every strategy he puts out is like his favorite strategy. I love that. But there's no best strategy, right? There's the strategy that happens to match the table conditions you're at. That's the best strategy to play. No one strategy makes that happen all the time. It's impossible, right? If it was, we'd all be winning money every single time, right? But there are strategies that are designed to give you the better chance of having bets out there when the dice roll the stuff you have on. And there are strategies out there that are designed to sort of bleed and lose a little bit until the big thing happens. There's no best way to play. There's no best strategy. And I'll tell you, honestly, the daily paycheck that I'm doing is trying to answer that question, right? So actually, it's a good segue to look at the daily paycheck numbers and see where we are. So let me switch screens here for you, and we'll talk about where the paycheck is right now. So this week, the paycheck is Waylon's mind strategy. Now I'm doing it a little differently than Waylon does, and he's okay with it. We talked about it. My tweaks are bankroll protector tweaks, right? I don't go past level 5 on the ladder, and I don't go back out at level that we lost at on a 7. I go back to base on a 7, and I rebuild from there. It's worked. So I'm 5-0 so far with this strategy. Disclaimer: 4 of the 5 wins came in like 10 rolls or less. Like literally went out there and went boom, 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 hit 4 numbers and I'm done, right? The way that the thing works though, it's kind of cool. Like today was an interesting one where I actually didn't get a hit, right? I was out there in the 4, 5, 9, and 10. I hit a 6, bumps the bets. Hit a 2, bumps the bets. Hit an 11, bump the bets. Hit a 10, right? With $200 on it, boom, there's $400 win out of the gate. Actually, there was $250 on it. So we win $500 on our first like 6 shots because I bumped the bets up, right? I had 1 hit and I made paycheck on 1 hit. And again, it's the equivalent of going out there, at whatever that is, $1,000 outside. But you build into it, right? You had chance to win at small. It works. This thing is working pretty well. Now, to answer David's question, what's the answer to finding the ultimate perfect strategy? Let me show you this. We're going to go over here, and I'll give you the summary screen. This is and what I'm doing, by the way, every day, like the mind, every day I kind of come in here and I put in this, here's how we did, $5,000. We made $500. The profit percentage and how many rolls it took. Yesterday was the one day we had to work, right? We went down early. Right, 3 PSOs and a loss at level 5 that crushed our bankroll. We fought all the way back to a tiny profit. It was great, but the rest of the week's been kind of easy. These short little rolls. But what I'm doing is I'm summarizing all of it. So I've done a paycheck I've done a week of all of these strategies. Right, every one of them has had a full week of me running it out, which is a lot of work, as you can well imagine. Ton of work. Oh, the green's coming through. Sorry. Let's do this. That'll get rid of the green. There we go. So we're putting in the work to get it done and figure out like what's going to be the way to play. What I want to do then is after I get through these 5 in here, and I may add a couple more. I think I'm going to add, I might even do skills, Moonbow next week. I got some more stuff to kind of play with in here. Then we'll have a list of like maybe 10 that made money consistently for a week. We're going to run those 10 for a month each. So I've got, 2 years of content in front of me here. But we're going to run them for a month each and see how, okay, good. You won money over 5 days. Bully for you. Let's go see you win money over the course of a month. And that's what we're going to see next. So that's going to be our next thing to find out which ones are the best. And so far, the mind and the come ladder have the best win percentage. and the best overall profit percentage. So that's what we're finding. Easier is better, turns out. The come ladder, super easy. The horseman, super easy. The mind, super easy. These are not like, you don't need to bring your full brain with you to the table. You just got to get somebody to roll for you, right? That's it. So there's the kind of the high level, I guess, look at it. Yeah, so there's, come back over here again. So that's, I think that's kind of, we're on track. We're on track to find out what's the winner. Again, today was an interesting case. Today we had that really weird run early and just knocked it out of the park. How cool would it be to walk up to the casino every day, buy in for 5K, and see like 8 rolls go by and have $500 and go home, right? Now, we're in a weird spot here. If I was doing this in real life, and I'll put the question in chat, what would you do? Because we're 5-0, right? If I was paychecking it this week, we've made our goal for the week. Our week's goal is 2,500, right? $500 a day. We already made over our goal for the week. Would you go to the casino on Friday and play it? Like if you were doing this for a living, if you were trying to, be Ken from Ken Knows Gambling and gamble craps for a living, would you go to the casino tomorrow because you already won your paycheck for the week, where tomorrow you could lose 5K and blow the entire thing, right? This is one of those things where like the discipline of it means, and there's 2 ways to answer the question before you answer quick and put it in chat. 2 ways to answer this question. One is, sure, the safe play is, yeah, we made our paycheck a day early with a little bit extra. Take Friday off, don't go in, right? The other side of that coin is this, and I think this goes back to the video that Chris from Dice Degen put out last month, which is gambling for a living is hard. He won 27 out of 30 days, I think, right? He won $10, 27 out of 30 days, so 270. He walked out of the month with $99 in profit because 3 of the days he lost all of it, right? So winning 10%, fine, until you lose 100% once. And that's why you need this enormous win percentage to make it work. So the question is not as easy to answer. When you make your weekly paycheck, stop playing for the week because you're done. That's great. That fills that 10% bucket every day. However, the extra win, in this case, the 447 that we're above, is what helps to mitigate the giant losses. So on a day where you're rolling well, like today, I went back out there again and rolled. We actually earned another $1,200 on top of this. That would have been a smart play. Take your profits, earn if you can another G on top of that. Lock that up and go home, because now I've got 1,500 or whatever extra to cover the nightmare day that's going to happen. So if you can get out there and get it, and take it a little further. That's that whole short stack mentality. Take the short stack, win extra money, save yourself from the beatdown that's coming. That's the idea. So I would go back out, and I will go back out tomorrow and try it again. And if we make our paycheck, we'll be up at least $1,000 over expectation for the week. That means that next week, if I happen to have a losing day, this $1,000 from this week covers that extra day. So you got to kind of think like that. You can't just go 10% and walk that second and get out of there. You'll end up losing way quicker than you think you would, even though you're winning 90% of the time. So there's that. All right. What else to talk about? Let's go into the regular thing here. So a reminder, Craps Chat Sunday at 6 Pacific. I think I'll be there for that. I will be there. I might be late. I'm actually working Sunday. I have to work all day Sunday. I'm teaching a class from 8 in the morning until 6:30 Sunday. I think I can be out of there early though. So Sundays, I'm going to miss all the football. Got to teach those. What is? But yeah, Sunday Craps Chat. That's my favorite thing. So we'll see you there. Friday, tomorrow night, King of the Mountain. I have talked to both competitors, Great Craps and Sith Lord Espy. They're both in my Discord. We'll deal that out tomorrow night, Friday night fights. And the Big AZ Royal Rumble, I didn't give the date yesterday. I said Sunday. It's Sunday the 5th of February. It's noon to 5 Eastern, so it's pre-Super Bowl. So we have no excuses not to be there. It's going to be the Pro Bowl flag football day that you're going to miss instead of watching Big AZ. So watch Big AZ. That'll be super fun. Reminder also tonight in the DGen Dungeons Sports channel, which the link is down there. Football chat with Chris and Ian. So get on, check that out tonight, and keep your eyes peeled. I know I have to get better at this, and I'll find a way to integrate it into the show somehow. until we get the new app written. Jeff's got the spreadsheet going, the Google Calendar going with all the events happening. I'll start putting that out here in the morning so we can all see what's coming schedule wise, because we don't forget what's out there. A lot of impromptu lives, which is great. But when they're scheduled out, it's nice to know what's scheduled. So I'll make sure and add a screen here every day so we can see what's that. Cool. What is next? What is next? I think we're going to talk about this, the Hard Hat Award. It's getting close. Big AZ's got a 2-vote lead over Mac for the first ever hard hat, which is awesome. And the funny thing is, I think Big AZ doesn't even know I'm doing this. I don't even think he knows. So when it comes to him in the mail, it's like, what the hell is this thing? But yeah, we have the vote in Discord. So get over to casinogaming.tv, jump in the Discord, and vote. The polls in the Coffee and Craps channel over there. So get in there and vote for your favorite person, not your favorite person, but the person you think is putting in the work. That's what this is about. This is about recognition for our friends in the community that are putting in the work, the really hard work of building a show and doing all the filming and all the stuff off the side. That's what it's about. So we'll do another live vote here in the chat tomorrow for sure to talk about this. But I want to make sure we call it out because I think it's important. Important to get the votes up. I think we only have like 25 or 30 votes. There's 1,000 of us here that are watching the show every day, and in Discord. Let's get the votes reflective of our audience size. Okay, so the final vote tomorrow, and we'll send off that hard hat. I should have it in the mail tomorrow actually, so we'll see. All right, what else is happening here? Before we go, let's go back up a screen. Let's see. Looking at the chat, Victor says this is so funny. Victor, you cracked me up. He says, in terms of tightening the volatility or vague, use a basic ranked order bet table would work. Think of it as a simple Markov process with preferences. He says that like everybody knows what a Markov process is, right? You put a lot of really dense words out there, Victor, sometimes, and you've given me a bunch of like individual like DMs in Discord. Some of the stuff you're sharing is good information. You should share that out. Like we should, that should be more, I know you have part of it public, but you should put it out there. What do you mean by this kind of stuff? How do you read a histogram? Like those things you're posting, like, hey, here's the answer. Or here's, what analyzing dice theory is, looking at a quantum level. It's interesting stuff. Share it with the world because you're a smart guy, but not everybody knows what you're talking about half the time, right? So not everybody's a student of math. So the Markov process is not an obvious thing. So I would ask you to keep doing it, but put it out there, man. All right. Let's see. Before I jump in, I want to make sure I didn't Dice Dog Dan, take the day off. Jen, come on, pregame condolences. Get out of here. You know what's going to happen on Saturday. It's going to be a lot of tears coming out of San Francisco on Saturday, or should I say Santa Clara, because your team can't even play in the same city where their name is because, well, it's San Francisco, and you know why. I'll leave it at that. All right. Here we go. Let's get into today's content. I want to go back and talk more about exposure. So we've been on exposure this whole week, right? And it's kind of a boring topic, I know, but it's one of the most important things. This is like the most important thing. Waylon made a comment today during the Daily Paycheck show when I was rolling out the mind strategy. And the comment that Waylon made, I think he was talking to Vince in the chat. And I don't even know if it was about this strategy I was playing out, but he's made the comment where I win with these all the time in bubble craps. I've never lost in bubble craps when I play these strategies. And my big beef with Waylon and the way that Waylon plays and the way that he's teaching us all to play is the volatility of bankroll, right? Look at that third one down, right? The dollars from your rack, okay? The mind strategy at the black level. Let's say you're at the outside mind and it's $100 a spot, $400, right? Level 2, 800, 1200, 1500, 2K on the felt at level 5, right? That's a lot of money for most of us, right? My big beef with Waylon is, hey, not everybody has that kind of money to play at those levels. He says, well, do some math and scale it down. You can scale it down. He made a great comment today, which was, I don't lose with these things on bubble craps. Well, guess what? You don't got to play black chip level, the mind. You can play the mind with dollar chips on bubble craps. And level 5, it's $4, right? Level 5 becomes $20. And you can work that thing. Picture this, right? a $500 bankroll on bubble craps playing at a dollar mind, you can make $5 like I just did today, $5 every 20 minutes, right? Sit there and have fun and hammer it out. Your bankroll is important. And the percentage of your bankroll and the felt at any one time is important. If I buy in the bubble craps for 500 and my max exposure is $20, I can play the mind all day long and eventually allow the dice to catch me, right? If I go out there with 1,000 and I play the mind with $25 chips, right? At level 5, I'm at $200 or 250 out there, right? Or no, I'm at, why am I able to be, you're at 125 per spot. So yeah, you're at $500, which is a quarter of your bankroll, right? So you've got to be, when you craft a strategy or practice one, be relative to what you got in the rack, right? So you can't just go out there with $1 bazillion and think you're gonna do it. Bubble craps, great way to do it. Waylon, great point this morning. I think that's important, and that really highlights that dollars from your rack piece, which I think is one of the more important points on here, which is don't expose your actual money in high percentages like that. But that said, exposure shifts around, right? The number that beats you shifts around. The dollars you have on the felt is a big part of it. And I think that's very relative to what comes out of your rack. And the last point is time, right? I always talk about time. So far, the mind strategy for me has been great because it hasn't cost me a lot of money in terms of time, right? My time at the table in 4 out of the 5 days has been nil, right? It's been 15 minutes at most, and that's because I'm talking. It's 8, 9 rolls. If you can win quickly, you're better off. Then the longer you're there, that's where the edge gets you. The house edge just bleeds your shit dry over time. So let's not do that if we can. I want to hit the table. You know me. I want to roll. I want to roll today. I want to try the new felt out even more. So let's switch over here, and I'm going to run with you a strategy that I love, and I love it because it's fun, and I love Dan Tana 357, who you should be subscribing to. He's a great dude, and this strategy is fun. It's called the Butterburg, and just like yesterday when I was doing the Larry Casper Crappy the Craftsman, I can't believe this win strategy. This one's cool because it shifts the exposure around kind of as it goes. And I like that. This is a regression, not even a regression. It's kind of a run away and hide kind of mentality. But it's designed for a quick hit. You need a shooter to get you 3 or 4 rolls to make it work, but it's super fun. And let me show you how this works. And as I roll this out, I'll explain kind of the exposure levels as we go and where things shift. And again, it's a good conversation to have. Now here's a $2,000 bankroll. We're going to be out here for 160, not quite 160, but like 135 or 130 across with a $100 don't. So we'll be out here for about 230, okay? Which is going to be about 10% of our bankroll, roughly, a little bit more than 10%, but really the whole 230 is never at risk. Only half of it is ever at risk at any one time. So let me set it up. We're going to start out with $100 on the don't. I'll put it over here in the corner. I think it's the best place to see it. $100 on the don't pass. Your exposure, as we all know right now, is 8 rolls, right? The 6 ways to roll a 7, the 2 ways to roll an 11. That's our exposure here. We're not going to hedge. We're going to come out. And again, the exposure will change. We have 8 ways to lose on 1 roll. It's a one roll fear factor. Let's come out and hopefully catch us a point. We got a 9. Good. We're out on a 9. That's great. Actually, I need to get my roll tracker over here. Hold on a second. I knew I forgot something. Let's get the browser up. Let's get the roll tracker visible. Let's put the cursor in the thing, and let's get over here and get this going. All right, that was a 6-3, 5-4, 5-4, 9. And again, where's yesterday's closing 7? I don't know what happened. I know we 7'd out to end the day yesterday. Why is it on a 9? I feel like something's wrong here. I'm gonna have to fudge it. I know we 7'd out to close the show. All right, so now we're out here on a point of 9, 5-4. There's our 9. So what we do next is we're going to go across at the $25 level. I'm going to put $200 out here. It's going to end up being, watch, $25 by 4, 5, 8, and 10. These two will be at $30. Okay, so it's 125 125, 135. That's going to give us $65 and change. And there we go. So what's our exposure? How did the exposure change? I'm going to put this change, by the way, up here. I'm going to track our profits, quote unquote, what comes off the table in the front part of the rack in here, okay? Our exposure right now is in two places, right? This bet, $100 of your money is exposed to the 4 ways to roll a 9. $130 of your money is $135 of your money is exposed to the 6 ways to roll a 7. Okay, so if a 7 rolls, you win 100, you lose 135. You're actually at $35 at risk right now. Here, you have $100 at risk right here. The Butterburg system works by when you roll a number, you pull the bet down off the table completely. You just run and hide from it. I'm gonna run and hide with the bets. You'll watch how this thing replaces money in your rack, number 1. And number 2, watch how the exposure levels change as we go. This is an interesting thing. If I can avoid the 7 for a couple of rolls here even, you'll see kind of how this thing works out. I think it's pretty cool. So hopefully we can avoid the quick 7 or this. This is a terrible case. We get a 9 right away. That's a huge bummer. We're gonna lose $100 right out of the gate and buckshot ourselves. There's your worst case scenario, 6-3. I'm going to come out again with another $100. And again, that's a bummer because I don't get to teach on what I wanted to teach on, but let's just let it happen. New point, 4. Okay. There's a 3-1-4. Puck is going to move to the 4. The bet from the 4 comes to the 9. So we're still at the same exposure, the same scenario as last time. Now, though, this bet is exposed to only 3 ways instead of 4 ways to lose. So we've actually gained a little bit of edge there, not edge, but we've gained a little bit of probability there. And again, we're out here, still 135 exposed to the 7. Let's get the 4 logged in, 3-1. And here we go. There's a 10, a 6-4-10. Now watch what I do here. This is going to be interesting. The 10 is going to pay $50. I'll get a nickel out of my rack for 5 whites. We'll pay our dollar vig. Keep that change over here, okay? The $50 and the bet come down. The Butterburg brings it all home like that. It brings everything home. You run for cover when a bet hits, it's considered to be done. What I'm gonna do though is this, I'm gonna make a small change to that system. I'm gonna take this green and ask for reds on it, okay? And we're gonna go ahead and place the point for $10. With every hit, we're gonna grab $10 on the point. That's gonna be the plan. We're gonna take and reduce the power of this right now, okay? As we go, right, the 4 is still your danger number. We're gonna place it a little bit as we go. And now this bet becomes basically $90 versus what's out here, but I've brought back $65 to the rack, right? So remember, we went out here at 130, 135. I have 65 of it back in the rack already. Right? Half of what I had out here is already back in the rack because of the profit we took. So your total risk lowers kind of as you roll here. It makes it's interesting. Let's get that 10 logged in. And hopefully, again, we can avoid the 4 or the 7 for a few minutes and just watch things change. There's a 5-4-9. So watch this. 5-4-9 pays $35. There's your 35. We pull the bet down. We run for cover, right? There it goes. Oh, God, we're going to run away. We take the $10 from the change, stack up on the 4, and now becomes a buy 4. So again, this becomes a little less juicy because we're buying it as we go. But when we're done with these bets, if we can get them finished up, the 4 ends up covering the don't completely, and we just wait it out, right? It's kind of a cool way to shift your exposure. And now I've got $75, $85 out here at risk. The 7 is worth $80 because we have 20 here, but this 20 is all profit money. This is not money that came out of our rack, and I've got 115 sitting in there. So if we can catch another hit, we're basically done. We got a 5. What a perfect run. Perfect run, 415. And again, that's gonna pay $35. The bet comes down. The chump change goes on top of the 4. This comes back to the rack. Now look at our rack. 100, 25, 135. We're covered. That was our initial spread. I got $30 locked in profit. I've got a cleaned up $30 buy bet on the 4. This is becoming close to a non-losing situation here, right? And we saw these two bets are clean. Clean bets on the 6 and the 8. Pure profit when they come. And that's just going to be a winner for us at some point. Let's log that 5 in, 4-1. Let's have a golden run. 5-3-8. Look at this, a 5-3-8. That's fan-freaking-tastic. That pays 35 bucks, 25, $35. The bet comes back, and the chump change goes over there. It's 45 bucks. I could take that extra nickel, but that was my initial bankroll, so I'm going to bring that back to the rack. And again, there's my profit side. Okay? Same betting and pulling the bets down and also building up strength over here. It's 40 bucks. If a 4 comes, we win 80 and lose 100. So what, right? And we're left with this. We're just left fighting with the 6. That's it. Let's get a 6. 5-3-8. Give me a 6. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter. There's a hard 10. Now, the one thing about the Butterburg is that this will happen, right? You'll pull the bets all down, and you'll continue to hit numbers that you no longer are betting on, right? I have played this before, where what I've done is instead of building up the 1, is taking those caps and putting the numbers down there at 10 bucks, okay? To recover them, but at smaller levels. I kind of like building up the hedge as you go. There's your 7. So again, this is not a big deal, right? What ends up happening is, sure, you lose the 6, you lose that 4. This was 100% profit though, right? All this was the chump change off those wins. So this is not even really a quote unquote loss. It is 100 bucks down there. Out of our losses, there's 70 bucks. We can add 30 bucks here, and there's your win for the don't. I'll color that up, and there it is. There's your don't pass win. That's the Butterburg. I love how the exposure level shifts during the roll. I like it when, like, strategies like this are fun, especially when you get, and that wasn't even a great roll. That was like 5 rolls. It was a really average to midland kind of a roll. And we made juice on it. I think that's kind of fun. So here again, there's the initial spread. We have that already to go back out. We have 80 bucks in profit that we pulled back on that. So we're ready to rock and roll here. And we won 100 bucks on the don't. Yeah? So that can go right back in the rack there. That kind of covers us, that first loss that we took. So really that wins itself back, and we're in great shape. We're in really good shape. Now, you know me with the don't, right? On a don't pass win, I typically will stack it back up. Today, though, we'll play it more straight and run it out again. That was a fun little run right there. All right, let's get that 7 logged in. It's a 5-2. Okay, here we go. Let's catch a new point if we can, and we're on the 8. So this one's got a chance to bite us, right? Another one like the 9 did. So let's get out here. We'll put our spread out. Again, we're going to keep on working to get our spread right. I'm going to keep this over here. We're going to try and recover this 130 as fast as we can back in here. Hopefully we get some wins and can do it. But again, our exposure level, 30 bucks right now, right? If the 7 comes, we lose 130, we win 100, we're down 30. If the 8 comes, that's your big scary point. We'll build that one up as we go. Here we go. Midnight, nothing, nobody cares. 6-6. How are we liking the table? Can you see everything good enough? The dice, the bets. Again, new chips are coming that'll be sharper. But so far, I'm really liking how it looks. I like that I got bigger box numbers to put the bets in. There's a 6, a 4-2. Whoops. All right, 4-2-6. That'll pay 35 bucks. All right. The bet comes down. We're going to go ahead and grab the 8 a little as we go. We'll put 10 bucks. We'll take 5 and get some pennies to cap it off. Bring back. Again, we're looking to build over on the left-hand side there. I'm looking to build to 130. Right? Our initial exposure was 130. I want to get to 130 over here as fast as I can and know that we're clean. That's my goal. 4-2-6. There's a hard 10. Couldn't have been any better. 5-5 hard 10. So it'll cost me $1 in vig to win 50 bucks. The bet comes down, and we'll use 5 bucks out of, or 10 bucks out of our rack. We'll just pull it from here. It doesn't really matter where it comes from, to go onto the 10. Now look at our front of our rack. We started out here with 130, right? I got 125 in there. So we're basically covered. In 2 hits, we've essentially covered our cross action. The 9, the 5, and the 4 are all at full size, and they're effectively covered. Now the 8 is still a problem. Sorry, it's got to go down to 10. We're going to take the 2 bucks. We're going to pump the 10 up to 24. Or the 8 rather. That's what I meant to do. Sorry about that. So we've got 3 full-size bets. We have most of our money back, 5 bucks aside. We're ready to roll, right? This is a cool way to play this thing. And we're going to get this thing up to the point where it's going to be a wash. And that's the idea, is to make it a wash as quickly as you can. Now, we don't quite get there. Look at what happens. We hit the 8. We lose 100, but you're going to win 28, right? So this loss becomes a $75 loss, essentially, right? Net 75 bucks. Not bad. This can all come down. I can actually take that 20 and the penny. We'll make that look like a quarter coming back, right? So I'll bring that money back to my rack. We'll lose these 3. And where do we land? We're going to be a little bit upside down here, but let's take a look. What came off the table that time? There's 4. That becomes the next don't pass bet. And we've got 77 bucks. So we didn't quite get there. We hit the 7 or the 8. We buckshotted too quick, right? One more hit in here, we would have been okay before that happened, right? So it's a small loss, right? It's a loss of whatever that is, 50 bucks. That's actually not too bad. Let's do it again. Let's go back out here one more time. We still have money from our last profit to go out. We'll play it one more time. It's going to be a 628, which I put in. All right, catch a new point. 9, back on that 9. Sweet. There's your 9. I think we have enough money to do this, I think. 10, 4, 5, 6, and 8. Let's make that quarter, we'll make it look like 5 nickels. We'll cap that off and bring this back to the rack. All right, now, got to work a little bit this time because we're upside down. Here we go. 6, 4, 2. 4 and a 2, that is a 6. 35 bucks. That comes down. Change from the payment goes to the 9. We'll start building up our strength over there as we go. Sweet. Oh, sorry, that's wrong. I didn't put the 9 in, I'm sorry. Let's go back here, put the 9 in, and then the 6. All right, now we're good. Here we go, coming out. Or not coming out, the dice are out. 4, yes, love it. Love the outsides, those are so awesome. All right, here we go, 4. It's gonna pay 50 for 1. All that comes down. The 9 would get $10 put on it, right, from this payment. What I'm going to do is simplify it. We're going to take the 10 off the 9 and just make it a quarter. We'll just make that easy on ourselves. And coming off the table so far is 110. Remember, we had 135 out here. So any other payment, and this becomes covered, right? That's 3 hits and you're safe, kind of a thing. I think it's cool. Let's put the 4 in there, 314. The Butterburgs, I've always loved this strategy. And Dan is such a cool dude. And there's the 8. That's great. Same trip. It's going to pay $35 and down. 35 and down. We'll take the change, go on top of the 9. I could put all 3 reds if I wanted to, but look at our rack now. Let's get the rack reset. There's 100, 25, 135. That's what we went out with, okay? This nickel's coming back. This over here on the right-hand side represents essentially profit. Now, we did lose last time on that don't, but we're building back over here, building back better, as your president says. God, I watched that press conference this morning. I think I lost 20 IQ points just watching that man talk today. Holy shit. Oh my God, what a shit show. Anyway, we're up here at 35 bucks on that 9 right now. Then I put in the 8. I did not. 6-2. Here we go. Here we go. That's the 7. All right. So interesting. We get paid on our don't, which is fine. If you look at this don't pass payment plus what we brought back, that covers us, right? These losses up here end up not mattering so much, right? Really, that was on the 9, paid for by wins. The only thing going down is 50 bucks. Actually 50 bucks. And there we have it, right? Our bankroll, if I put it back together again, right there is our initial bankroll. Take this $100 and put it in front. That's your 2,000 bucks. All this was the change from our initial buy-in. This is our profit from the last couple of sessions. Okay, a couple easy little wins in there, right? And those were not great rolls by any means, right? If I take all this back here, this is all good. There's 50 bucks in reds. There's 100 in green. There's 5 in red. Look at that. That ain't bad, right? 155 in just a few minutes there. And again, not great rolling. But the way that you shift the exposure here, again, it's not a lot. It's about 10% of your bankroll out here at once, but not all of it is at risk at any one time. This is at risk for part of the time. This is at risk for part of the time, but only part of it. So you're never really fully exposed with what's on the felt. That's typical hybrid thinking, right? And as you're pulling these bets back, you're locking, and in 2 or 3 hits, you're covered. And you're in kind of that no-lose situation, which is cool. Building up strength on the number, I think, is a cool way to do it. And yeah, there's a 10% win in about, what, 9, 10 rolls maybe 12 rolls, right? If you're doing a daily paycheck, you made it. Here's your daily paycheck right there, right? That's pretty cool. All right, that's it. That's what I wanted to show you. I want to show you the Butterburg because it's fun. I'll play it again because it's fun to play, and we'll just keep chatting about it. Here we go. $100 on the don't. That was a point made, right? That was the, yeah, that was 7 out. I'm sorry. There we go. I'm losing my train of thought. All right, let's come back out. Now, I'm going to play this like John plays this time. We're going to go ahead and be a little more aggressive with it. When we win on the don't, I will hammer the don't, okay? Let's see if that don't pass gets on a little streak of its own or something. I'm going to go ahead and grab nickels. We'll get the bets all set up. We'll move them around once we catch a point, but let's catch a point here. And again, I like to stack the wins and the don't. I think the don't pass tends to come in streaks, and I like to catch them. So the stacking of the win is like pressing a bet up in here. It's no different to me, right? And if I can catch a streak of don'ts, now this table here has been a little choppy. We've been kind of bouncing around between hitting points and whatever else. So it's not really saying we're in a streak, but shit, you never know. There's the 8. We'll move that bet to the 9. Take back our nickel. And let's play it out. That's a 4-4-8 on the point. There's a hard. I should put the Butterburg actually into the daily paycheck. This should be a paycheck strategy. I don't know why I didn't think of it before. Should totally be a paycheck strategy. All right, 10 pays 50. Actually, I'll pay it 49 because we need the change anyway. So there's 45. There's 49. We'll take the bet down, and we'll grab the 8 for 12 bucks out of the win. Okay, we'll bring all this back. And there's 50 bucks. Okay, let's put the 10 in. Yeah, I think I definitely got to play this one as a page. I don't know why it kind of slipped my mind a little bit over the last few months. All right, there's a 5, 4, 9. 5 and a 4, same trip, right? 35 bucks. You know the drill now, $35. And the bet comes back. An easy thing to do here, you could either leave the 10 and grab $2 and make that 8 look like 24, or just make the 8 look like a quarter. Either way. But there's 100. Back in the rack. And again, we were out here for 130 this time. So we need to get 30 more bucks off the felt to make that piece feel clean. Okay. And we're covered here, right? The 200 bucks covers everything easily. All right, let's go. Maybe like a 5 or something. Or a 6, that'll work. 516, fantastic. 25, 35 bucks on the 6. And again, the bet comes with it. We can take this 24 plus 6 will make it look like 30 bucks. Please, and bring all that back. I'm going to color these reds up. We're bringing back 50, 54 bucks coming back to the rack. Okay, that does cover the bets. There's 125, 130. There's the 135 we went out here with. So we're covered up here. These bets up here are all covered. Everything else coming back from this point forward goes into the profit side. Now we're looking for, I'd love to have a 7 roll now. This is the perfect time for it. We got our 3 rolls in. We're all set. It's all good. Type in that 6. There's a 4, which couldn't be better. 314. Same as always, right? 50 for 1. And it comes down to the profit half of the rack. I'll take 10 bucks out of that side. Make the 8 look like $42. Okay, out of our wins. Here we go. Did I put the 4 in? I did. Aces, doesn't matter. Now you really just want to avoid the 8. The big thing here is when I have the pumped up don't, you really got to avoid the 8. Like you're playing this here on the hopes that you're in that initial kind of moving towards a dark table trend. So we just got to avoid the 8. 1, 1, there's a set of aces for you. And there's the 8. So we'll the gambit we tried didn't pay off, but that's all right. We gave it a shot. We gave it the college try. This bet is still active. We have it 42. It pays 50 for 1. Again, not the end of the world. You don't like losing this bet, but it was an aggressive move to try it. So what, right? Here we go. We're back and ready to play again. We have our another 100 bucks. If I take a green out of our profit, it goes back to the don't. This stuff here is all still profit. There's 75. I'm going to get a green here so you can see it. There's 100. We're still profit land over here. We have our 5 bet still here, and I got 130 bucks still sitting over here, right? We're ready to play. We have our money back in all the places. It can keep on rolling. This is a fun strategy. Last time, we'll do our last shooter right here. See if we can get another perfect run out of it, and we'll call it good. 6, 2, 8. 5. Our point's going to be 5 this time, so we'll move the puck to there. I'll move that bet to the 4, and we'll take our previous earnings and get them out. Who's texting me? Somebody's texting me like 15 times here. Let's make sure I don't have a problem with something at work or whatever. Or maybe it's one of you. I don't know. It's my son. Okay. Anything wrong? No. Okay. Jay, I'm looking at the comment here. Trends are, you're right. Trends, I hate this comment. I hate this comment. I love you, but I hate this comment. Trends are in the rearview mirror. And we're going to have a whole show next week on variance and trends. But that's a bullshit statement, and here's why. You cannot ever know that you're in a trend. However, things that are trendy, like the don't, will sometimes win 4, 5, 6 times in a row, right? You try and catch it at the beginning. When it wins, you stack it. When it wins, you stack it. And maybe you can catch a trend. You can't detect the trend, but you can catch one. And that move right there is designed to catch a budding trend, not jump into one that's happening. And that's a big, I say this all the time. I can't say any clearer than that. When I say I'm a trend better, I try and catch it early, right? If I can catch 2 or 3 in a row down here and stack the wins and pull and stack and pull and stack, that's how you capitalize. You win money in this game 2 ways. Bankroll hammers like Waylon does, or by by hammering a variant, getting onto a trend when it's happening and beating the shit out of it when it happens, right? My aggressive style of the don't has made me more money because I catch the 4 or 5 in a row and I'm stacking as I go. You have to embrace the fact that that's a reality. And I think if you don't embrace that reality, you're gonna end up being a long-term loser and a quicker loser at that. So that's super important to know. I'm not saying that I'm betting the trend, but I'm betting on the fact that trends are a real thing. And we're gonna jump into them when they go. So that's it. We'll talk about trending and variance all next week. That's gonna be my main topic. And there's a 7 out of the gate. That sucks. Right out of the gate, we got a 7, right? So what's gonna happen here is this. 4 of these bets combine to pay that one. So that's what you're out, 35 bucks. So the exposure level here on this strategy early isn't terrible. The worst case scenario is you lose 35 bucks. The worst is you hit the 5 and you buckshot and lose the 100. But on the 7, you're never exposed for more than that. That's one of the things I like about this style of play. And again, each win bolsters that. So there it is. All right, let's call it here. It's about 9 o'clock. It's just about time to get to work and make some actual honest to goodness taxable income. Let's make some taxable income so our administration can tell us how well they're spending it. That's what I want to see, more than that. All right, there we go. Let's get back to the screen where you can see my lovely face. Oh, not that one. That's the wrong screen. Why is that up there? Oh, I know why, because that was the roll tracker. Let's put the 7 in that we just got, 4, 3, and let's see if tomorrow that 7 is still there. Yeah, maybe I'm forgetting my last couple ones. Oh, there's my text message from my son. All right, what do we have here? That's it, guys. Butterburg's fun. I'm gonna add that to my paycheck list. I think it's a fun strategy. There are some nightmares in there, right? But the biggest nightmare with that or any hybrid is just the buckshot, right? The buckshot is your enemy. But the way that I'm playing it, where I take the change and hit and stack the point up with the change, by the time you're done getting paid on all your cross bets, your point is covered to where you hedged off the don't and you just ride it out. I think that's kind of cool. I think it's like a neat little twist to that strategy. I used to do it where I would take the change, the 10 bucks off the 35 and run it through the don't come. That ends up being a little too much churn. But I think grabbing it to kind of spick it off the point, that's kind of a neat little fun twist that I like. So anyway, no skill. I'm doing the unicorn next week. So your next week is going to be the moonbow. The Butterburg just going on the list. I got to put it in the hopper as a thing to do. I think I'm looking at my spreadsheet. I think I got 6 more strategies. Oh geez, sorry about that. Whoa, Nelly. Not including the. Oh man, come on, John. What am I doing here? My mouse is going, sorry. Put that back up there again. That's the right size. My computer's a little slow right now. Let's lock that in. All right. Anyway, the Moonbow's next week. I got about 6 other strategies to go. I might add a 7th in there. We'll see. And then we'll have our list of 10 that made profit over the course of a week. What I'm most excited about, Skill, is not your unicorn. I'm most excited about the Skill 660. I think that one has super big potential. That's a 2-hit and down strategy. That's 660 inside to 880 and done. That's 500 bucks. 2 hits and 500 bucks. 2 inside hits, 500 bucks out of here, right? With $5,000 bankroll, you get about 10 cracks at it, which is cool. Not quite 10, but almost like 9 cracks at it. And if you just pull it off twice, you can recover a loss. I think that's going to be one of the magical ones. So there we go. Off to the races, guys. I got to get to work. Let me check PCs and Qs, make sure I don't have anything that I missed to talk about here. Hold on one second. Yeah, Cranky John. Yeah, Jen, whatever. I think we're gonna be good. Who wants to see me do it with mittens on? I'm not sure what that's about. CRC, my old chips. When the new chips come, the old chips are going to be what they are right now, which is, and I should say this actually, please, if you want chips, let me know. I've been sending people one chip at a time, you know, letting them pick the color they want. Once the new chips come, the old chips, I'll give them to you as a set. Let me know if you want a chip. Drop me a DM. Join Discord. Drop me a DM in Discord. Make me a friend, and we'll exchange addresses and I'll send you chips out. So if you don't have a full set, let me know. I'll get you one. If you want one, let me know. I'll get it to you. Yeah, and then once the new table out there in the garage, by the way, is all hooked up and we have the new felt on it, and the old felt comes off, I'll then retrofit the plexiglass half of that thing with the green felt, so I can kind of switch back and forth, right? Then my old felt that was here on this table, the green that I've been using for the last year or so, is up for grabs. So maybe maybe we can auction it off or something like that for the Craps for the Cure. So if somebody wants that old felt, be thinking about that. That could be a good auction item for us for next year's Craps for the Cure. So, all right, I think that's it. Oh, DGen, I'm sorry, dude. The football show is on CGTV. My mistake. I thought it was on your channel. It's on our channel. So CGTV tonight is football chat with Chris and Ian. So make sure you bookmark that. I think that's it. That's it. Happy Thursday. Tonight I'll practice. I didn't practice last night. A lot going on. Jeff had his show going on. I was kind of tired, but tonight I'll go at the garage and I'll do some more throwing practice and get some throws in. Although based on this morning's throws, I don't need the practice. I was actually in fuego today, so maybe I'm starting to figure this thing out. Y'all have a good Thursday. Love every one of you. Thanks for all your support and being here with me. Appreciate your time more than you can imagine. So with that said, God bless all y'all. And I'll see you tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow morning again for another paycheck and more coffee. Oh, tomorrow's Friday Follies. Got a fun one for you. See you then, guys. Bye.